So,
Hello, my name's Kenneth, and today we'll be going over the one thing again. So we're almost done, I think. Well, not really. We're getting closer. I already finished my second book, so I'll be starting on my third book. Yeah. So last time I think we left off at chapter 16, the 3 commitments. So one of the commitments is to follow the path of mastery. So he says that mastery isn't a word we hear often, isn't a word like we hear often anymore because like not a lot of people master something. There's a lot of it. He says that it's critical as ever achieving extraordinary results. You need to master like procrastination, maybe, or like anything else. And he says that when you see a mastery as a path you go down instead of a destination you arrive at, it starts to feel accessible and attainable. And so you want to so most people assume that mastery is like an end result, like this finish. You're already mastered, you don't need to keep doing it anymore. But and they also think that like you're already done. It's like or you don't need to do anything else, but you still need to know how to maintain that mastery. If you stop for a while, you will like forget it. Like learning a language.
mm-hmm.
My mom took like years of Spanish. She forgot all of it. Okay, so he says that mastery plays a key role in your domino run. You need to know how to master like time blocking, how to manage like not to procrastinate and all that. So you want to think of it this way. So at some point in your thing, like in karate, let's say, or taekwondo. So he says that like think of it this way. At some point, white belts training to advance know that the same basic karate moves black belts know. So of course, like a white belt, they're still learning, and so they simply haven't practiced enough to do them well, like a black belt. So most people want to see black belts like in this finish or whatever, but once you become a black belt, you still want to keep learning because there's still a lot to learn, even for a master. And maybe because the black color cannot absorb other colors, and white can, I guess. So I noticed that like it gets harder to absorb the colors on the belts. It's like white paper, and then you drop dye on it, and then like yellow.
Yeah, like black strong.
And then once you put black on it, you can't put any other colors because like it doesn't absorb it that well. So, so he says that since there's always another level to learn, mastery actually means you are a master of what you know and an apprentice of what you don't. Like masters have a grandmaster, grandmasters have a grandmaster. Like no one is like the top thing because they all the top person learns from other person. That makes the person the top person. Keeps going. So a student can teach a master can teach a student. Yeah. So anyways, so he says that in other words, we become masters of what is behind us, like we already know, and apprentices of what is ahead. We don't because we're still learning what in life, even if you're like 100 years old. And so mastery is basically a journey. You go from noob to like intermediate, and then to like professional, and then super professional, and keeps going. It's like a journey. And so this guy named Alex Van Halen, he has said that when he could go out at night, his brother Eddie would be sitting on his bed practicing his guitar. And when he came home many hours later, Eddie would be in the same place, still practicing. So that's like basically a journey of mastery. You still so people will still always learn. Black belts still get trained by black belts. Okay, this guy Eddie or whatever. So he would be sitting in his bed practicing guitar, and he would still be practicing it. Yeah, if you still know how to play the guitar, that doesn't mean you don't need to play the guitar anymore. So people are like, Like, you know how you had that friend, they beat you in like one thing? You beat them like 100 times and they beat you once. So you want to reclaim that title and they're like, I'm retired. That's like my brother. So I beat him in chess a bunch and then I messed up once and he beat me. So every time I try to play with him, he's like, I don't want to waste my time going against the lower people. So, like the best number one players in sports, there's always that one guy that has the counter to them. They may not be the best, like they still pretty bad. Like they're not good compared to other people, but they always have like that one special thing that can beat the best person, and so that's why you can't get cocky in life. Like, I'm the best, yeah. And all of a sudden, this guy is like comes in, you like, oh, he's a noob, and he just like one punch knocks out you.
It could be your bad day, his lucky day.
Yeah. And you're gonna be coming with excuses like, oh, my arm was sore. Okay, anyways, so in 1993, a psychologist named K. Anders Ericsson published the role of a deliberate practice of acquisition of expert performance in the journal Psychological. I forgot how it's pronounced. Or whatever. Psychological Review. So, as a benchmark of understanding of mastery, the article debunked the idea that the expert performer was gifted and natural, even a prodigy. Because all those top people, they may be gifted, only like a little bit of them. Like, these singers, they may be really good, but they're not really, only few of them are actually gifted like that. Most of them, they took years of practice, or they just, like, they're really bad, but somehow people think they're good because they're special, or they're handsome, or something like that. Or they're pretty, I don't know. Okay, anyways, so, not everyone that has a master is special. They started like everyone else, like a white belt, or like an amateur, and then they just wanted to take it a step further into their training. So Erickson, the psychologist, essentially gives us our first insight into mastery, and brought the idea of the 10,000 hour rule. So long. Divide that by like 24 hours. I wonder how much days that is. Probably not that much. Like 100 something days. I don't know. Yeah, more than
What?
the 10,000 hour rule. So there's like more than 100 days. It's like probably a year or so. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
So basically, this guy's research identified the common pattern of regular and deliberate practice over the course of elite performers, and that made them elite. So amateurs, they're okay. They do it for fun, and like, wow, those guys are so good. Like they're natural, but they're basically an amateur, except for they just have more training than you. I mean, so they chose a path to have more training, and they take it seriously, and so they only are elite or special because they choose to do something that makes them like they choose to go further in the career than anyone else would. And so basically, he said in one city, elite violinists has separated itself from all others by each accumulating more than 10,000 hours of practice by age 20. So like they do extra, more, like probably average people would do like less, like 1,000 hours or something. And so people, they give more practice to it, and he says that many elite performers complete the journey about in 10 years because they're doing it faster. Like some people takes like 20 years or more if they're like doing it amateur or something like that. And so you want to time block your one thing each day for at least like for 1 to 4 hours, something like that, just so you can get that extra time slot in. And so you want to do that more than anything else. And he says that expertise tracks with hours invested. Okay, so Michelangelo, the painter dude who did that thing on the ceiling, I forgot what his name. But anyways, so he once said that if people knew how hard I had to work to gain my mastery, it wouldn't seem wonderful at all. Because it takes a lot of years. They're like, oh, one day I want to be like them. like, I want to be a doctor just like you. And like, well, Sonny boy, that took us like more than 8 years of college, and more stress, brain
Study every
overload,
day. Stay up
dying,
late at night studying. Yeah.
and then you ruining your life just to help other lives. The sacrifice you made. The kid be like, ooh. Okay, so you wouldn't be like that wonderful at all. It wouldn't be like, wow, he's a natural. They took a lot of training to do it, and so he says a time on a task over time eventually beats talent every time. And he said that a book that you should actually block it. So when you commit like time to your one thing, and make sure like you approach it with like with some mastery to it, and so the more you do something, and if you do it right, if you take it seriously, the more you do it, you get used to it. Some people, they may be doing something like a lot, but if they don't take it seriously, they won't be. They're technically not in a master. So, so basically, mastery is a pursuit that, like, he says, that keeps giving, because a path that is a path that never ends, and until you die. But like, yeah. So this guy in his like more book called Mastery, George Leonard, tells the story of this guy named Jigoro Kano, the founder of Judo. Judo is like one of the martial arts. It basically just throws you on the ground or something. So, according to the legend, this guy approached death and called the students around him to ask where he buried it in his white belt, because it simplifies like it symbolizes learning. So basically, he died. Hey, yo, kids, bury me with my white belt. It's because like, it symbolizes like learning, and so of course, like everyone knows she's like a black belt, but it's like the white belt is just a symbol of like you have a lot so way to go. Even with a black belt, you still have a lot way to go, which is not as much as a white belt. And so he says the highest ranking martial artist of his discipline embrace the emblem of the beginner for his life and beyond, because to him the journey of successful lifelong learner was never over. That means like even in death, his journey of mastery isn't over. So basically, he like, yeah, like maybe in heaven or something, he's still doing something that like makes him happy. So I don't know. Okay. So now next you wanna he says that time blocking is essential to your mastery. Something work, the other one doesn't work, and yeah. So it's on the other two thing. I forgot the three commitments. Just move from E to P. So he often asks like, "What are you doing?" This to simplify like the best you can do, or like what's the best that can be done. So he says that although it's not meant to be a trick question, it trips people up anyway. Like, do you know how people ask you for a question, and then you like, it's a trick question, so you don't give a specific answer.
Mm-hmm.
This happens like quite a bit.
Yeah.
So like, are you having fun? And then I'm like, let's say I'm doing nothing that's fun. I'm like, sure, because I don't want to like say anything that like, oh, like, did you get a
You didn't say yes or no, but you said sure.
Yeah, exactly. Or yesn't, or maybe.
Mm-hmm. When
Or
you
no,
ask them
yeah.
what's your goal, and then they talk about something else. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not really like a definite answer, and so like people like are like that. So many people realize, although they're giving the best effort at something, they're not really doing the best that could be done. Kind of makes sense, I guess. So even if you do your best effort, it's not going to be enough. You need to do way beyond what you need to do. That's how these people make it to like millions. Like people become like professional athletes, famous athletes. You can be a professional athlete, but in order to become a famous, popular one, like a super popular one, you have to do way more too. And so this, I like this thing is super soft. Anyways, so you said the path of mastering something is a combination of not only doing the best you can do at it, but also doing the best it can be done. And so it's called moving to E to P. So like when we roll out of bed in the morning, we start tackling the day. Like we're like, oh, last night I was already kind of awake, so I didn't feel tired at all. For some reason, usually at night I would be like, but last night I wasn't feeling that because I was camping, and I could have been awake for the whole night. Take like a while, and so that happened always at camp. You get like no sleep, but when it comes to morning, you feel all awake. And also, I feel less like anytime during camp, I feel more hydrated, even though I hadn't drank water for like a while. I had my Gatorade, but whatever. So and you want to go from entrepreneurial to purposeful. So the E is entrepreneurial and P is purposeful because so the entrepreneurial is like our natural approach. Like anyone wants to be an entrepreneur. Doesn't mean they're successful ones, but so it's something that you want to do and all that with like enthusiasm, energy, all of that with natural abilities. You're going to be so proud of yourself, but sometimes it's not really purposeful. So some people give people a hammer and instantly a carpenter. Not really. And some people like give one to hit the author, and he's all thumbs like hammer. What else are you gonna do with a hammer? Break a wall with it. Ding ding ding. Or break your phone. I don't know. If you're dumb enough. Anyways, so in other words, people can become naturally used to like a hammer extremely well because it's a hammer. It's a simple object to hammer in your phone, a wall, a nail, anything that you can ask for. Hammer in the sky, that's possible. Just fly up the airplane, hammer in the sky. So, it's very a simple thing with like minimal instruction or practice. But like there are other things who hit like their ceiling of achievement by holding one. So people can use a hammer easily, but some people use their hammer into like a very special way to the point that they're very special and it takes a lot of skill to do something. Like making a bunch of artwork with just a hammer. Making a bunch of holes in the wall. Masterpiece. Okay, anyways. So, if you go to, hold on, before I go that. So, highly productive people don't accept limitations of, like, the natural approach to something. So, there's a entrepreneurial approach. So, this is, like, the natural ceiling of achievement, like, right here. So, the entrepreneurial one, so it goes to, like, hits the wall up. 1 is disappointment. 2 goes down, resignation. Keeps going down. 3, which is greener pastures, and then 4 up again. The cycle continues, keeps going like that. You cannot break that wall of achievement. While the purposeful approach goes from E, and then 1 is focus. 2 is models. 3 is systems. And 4 is when you break through the natural ceiling. It's like when you get a gun and shoot that bullet straight in the air, and then if it goes through, that's basically your purposeful approach. And if you use a Nerf gun, it just bounces off the roof. That's your entrepreneurial result. So, or your approach. And you cannot put limits on what you'll do. You have to open like your new ideas and new ways just to get what you want and break through what your life ceiling. And that so too many people reach a level of where the performance is good enough. Like, yeah, it's good enough, satisfactory. And they stop working to get better, like retirement stuff. Yeah. I'm in the green zone. Retired. So, who would have want to retire? So, basically, too many people reach a level where the performance is good enough and then stop working on getting better. Like, if you're a master, like learning a language, you master a language. But if you don't speak that language, like, forever, you can't, like, speak it anymore. Like, let's say walking. Let's say you somehow can't walk anymore because you have, like, broken legs. After, like, a few weeks, they break again. And then you can't walk for, like, a while. So, then you're going to forget how to walk. Then you have to go through the same, thing. That's why they have those hospital, physicists to help people, like, physical activity, all that with disabilities, and so the people the path to mastery avoid this thing by like stop working to get better, continually upping their goal, challenging themselves to break through their ice, and so like it's basically the thing of like ice, like you're under the water, and then you punch through the ice. Depends on how thick that ice is. So yeah,
Should I get a I only have 5% left. Do you have a battery charger or something?
it's down there,
Oh, okay, go ahead.
but you need to plug it into the wall. So, anyways, so he says that when you're on a search of extraordinary results, accepting an okay plateau or any other feeling of achievement isn't okay when it applies to your one thing. It can apply to anything else, like the okay approach. Like, that's good enough approach. It's good for like it's okay for other things, but for your one thing, it's not enough. And when you want to break through the ice or the ceilings or whatever you want to call it, there's only one approach. Is the P approach, the purposeful one. And so he says that in business and in life, we all start off entrepreneurially. That's how you make like, your money and get yourself up. So we go after something with our current level of abilities, energy, and knowledge. That is what everyone wants to do. Like it's simple. It's simple. But you can't like break through the ice if you keep doing something that you you know how to do. You may be mastering something, but you still have a lot to learn. Do that even if when you're a master. So basically, approaching things with E is a comfortable route, because it feels natural. Like let's say you're a city person, like New York, you can be You're not used to driving on a country road in West Virginia, and so if you so it's a comfortable route, but it's not really the best route or route, whatever how you pronounce it. So it's also limiting. So he says that when E is our only approach, we create artificial limits to what we can achieve and who we can become. If we tackle something with all like entrepreneurial, we hit a ceiling of achievement, and then we like boink and come out like throwing a ball at thick ice, super hard ice. You're probably not gonna go through unless you get like a heavy metal ball and you throw it at the ice and it's gonna break. Okay, so or it depends on how thick the ice or strong ice. Okay, so you want to bring P to the same ceiling, and things will look a lot different, like getting a rock and a bouncy rubber ball in this ice. So if you throw a rubber ball on it, it's not gonna do anything. But if you throw a rock on it, it's gonna do something. It's gonna break it a little bit. And yeah, so the purposeful approach says that I'm still committed to growing, and so what are my options? Everyone has still have a lot to learn and grow. That's why you need to be open-minded. If you think that you have nothing, you can't grow anymore, that's a problem. So that means you're like kind of lazy and you just don't want to do anything anymore. Unless it's like life is full of mysteries. In a video game or in a book, a problem-solving book, maybe there's like a definite answer, but in life there's like many other answers to things. Like if there's actually life in space, they're spying on us, dying to nuke us. I don't know. Okay, so and 3. Live on the accountability cycle. So that's the third commitment. So there's an undeniable connection between what you do and what you get. Because if you do something, like, let's say, punch a wall, you get the same feeling back. Kind of. And so, like, Newton's third law, something like that. Like, every action has an equal opposite reaction. So, like, action determines outcome. If you punch a metal beam, all of that energy you're punching on that metal beam will come back right at you. So when you hit the metal beam is also hitting back on you. And so actions determine what you do, like your destiny. There are no accidents from Kung Fu Panda. Okay, so be accountable. You want to be accountable in this feedback loop of like how things is how you discover the things you must achieve extraordinary results, and that's why you want to find your final commitment to things and to live accountability life cycle of results and all that. So he says that accountable people achieve results only others only dream of. Like they're like, oh, I dream of going to Fiji. Some people, if they take action and you don't, they will get there first. Yeah, like in a video game, like my friend. So I started first, but I didn't really play it that much. And then my friend, so he took action on the video game, played 13 hours straight, and now he's ahead of me. I mean, like, that was a Labor Day, but whatever. I don't know why he didn't dish. His parents let him go off school.
It's his parents' switch, okay? His parents have business, so he don't need school.
So kind of people achieve results only others dream of. Like, if I was them, I would totally do that. Like, that sounds like a dream life. And so I dream of that while they feel they're accountable to that. He knows what to do. He's pretty smart, so he knows what to do. Well, the bad thing when he skipped school, he didn't get to study for the test the next week, so he failed that one. But that didn't really impact his grade, but still. So, anyways, so taking complete ownership of your outcomes by holding no one but yourself responsible to them or for them is the most powerful thing that drives you to success. Like my friend, he really skipped a school day just so he can play games, playing Geometry Dash all day, and he missed out on information for the test. And yeah, so he actually did better than my other friend who actually studied, which is actually really surprising.
Not focusing. What's the point of being busy and not being focusing?
So my friend was watching Oversimplified. And so, no, he didn't. But he was studying for like a few hours. And then he got like less than D. And then my friend, like, he got like below 50%. And my friend, so he missed a whole day. He didn't study at all. Somehow got a few points above him. I don't know. It's either fate or just like
lucky,
really bad luck for the other person. Okay. Anyways, so accountable people achieve results only others dream of. Yeah. So when life happens, you can either be the author of your autobiography or something for your life, or you can be the victim of it. So basically, you can control your life, or life will control you. You don't want life to control you, or you're gonna get knocked around. So you're gonna get married, and then you don't have a bottle when you're sad. So you have to find your own bottle, and then your wife divorces you, and then your kids are sad, and then they marry, and then they divorce. And then they're all sad. So you join a book club full of old ladies, but then they all die, and now you're sad reading books by yourself. So that's what happens if life controls you. And then you mooch off other people in like some like senior citizen house, and then until they get tired of you, and you die alone. So that's what happens if life controls you, or it can control life, like write your own life. And then you can have everything. Mm-hmm. Have a nice husband or wife that's faithful. And you have nice kids that will also be successful, all of that. That's what happens if you control your life. Unless you're like 50-50, you're rich, but not happy. And you have a wife, but then she takes half her money and then divorces you. But, so, you want to control your life. And to illustrate the difference, consider the tale of two managers and like these two competing businesses. who both experience a sudden shift in the market. So 1 month, like there's a continuous line of customers stretching out the door. The next, no one shows up. So earlier when my brother's about to barge in that door. So earlier today, I was going to In-N-Out with Boy Scouts, and then there's an AT&T. Told you. So there's an AT&T store and a Verizon store. So that's big competition with each other. And then my friend brought up the idea. She was like, "What if AT&T Verizon hired employees for the other company so they can spy and erase data?"
Yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah, because they're literally right next to each other. And then someone else like, "Hey, you're going to be that person. You're going to be the person who go to delete all that data, gets $20 per data deleted. And then when the FBI finds out, you're going to run as fast as you can and not tell any information till you die. And so they won't get any information." So you want to be competitive, but not like, you don't want to be like to the point that you'll get in trouble. You want to like play the game of life, follow the law, but also like go around the law, not breaking it, but still going around it.
Don't do stupid.
You want to be
smart
smart.
game, not stupid game.
So the accountable manager immediately turns in, like, "What's happening here? Why is there no business?" So she investigates exactly what she's up against. The other manager refuses to acknowledge what's happening. It's like, there's like something wrong. These people are like, whatever. It's just some random day, like, because business that's business. That's a normal thing that's happening. Well, he shrugs it off as something just a bad month. Meanwhile, the accountable managers, having discovered how competitive grabbing the market share, bites a bullet. It's like, okay, how do you do that? All that, and so this is like, so life happens. There's in the circle, accountable and the victims on here. So the accountable gets on with it, finds solution, owns it, acknowledges reality, seeks reality, while the victim avoids reality, fights reality, blames, personal excuses, waits and hopes. You can wait and hope all you want, but that's not going to do anything. Unless you pray to God, and then you might, well, you probably will, but you still need to take action to yourself. He's not gonna give you, like, if you don't do anything for it.
Yeah. He can put like a bag of gold next to you, and you don't move your finger, you won't get it.
Yeah. So you're like, God isn't real. He doesn't literally talk to you. Like, he doesn't talk, like, literally speaks English. Like, "Hey, son, what are you doing?" He talks to you, like, in different ways. So she discovered how competitors grabbing the market, all that. So she studied her competitor, not like illegally, not. And so the other manager keeps fighting reality. He comes up with an alternative view, placing responsibility everywhere, all that. And it's not like he doesn't really take action. And then he's like, but the accountable manager looks for solutions. And guess who's like more? Oh, my ears are ringing for some reason. So guess who's more successful? The accountable one, of course, because she took action. So highly successful people are clear about what their role in the events of their life. So I'm going to end off here. This is a very long chapter. We're almost done with it. So three things to
Remember.
Recap. So first, you want to manage life. You don't want to be you don't want life to control you. Have a wife, be sad, and then they divorce you, and kids, they also get divorced. Or you can have a nice family going to trip to Fiji or in the Bahamas, and just like relaxing, drinking like coconut juice or whatever, milk, sitting there. Or you have the middle one, which is be rich but not have real life. Of course, you want to control your own life, and yeah. So, and the other one is that you want to be accountable. You want to be like the accountable manager, find solutions, study competitor legally, and all that. And so, and what was the first one again? It was like a while ago. So it was part of commit. Yeah. Oh crap. Yeah, the mastery part. So you even if you mastery, you still have a lot of way. You still have a lot to learn. If you can become a teacher, and you can teach young people and you can also teach people who already knows how to do the thing. And if you can't teach the people who already knows how to do the thing you're teaching, there's a problem. So people who have math, like, you still have a lot of room to grow, even if you're like 100 years old. Not like physically, but like mentally, unless you have like something disease. So that's all for this time. I hope you enjoyed this video of the one thing, and I'll see you next time.